I'm Valerie Sheppard, transformational speaker, author, coach, and founder of Heart's Awakening. And I'm excited to help you embody principles and practices that are the foundations of you living a happy-to-be-me life. In each segment of this series, I'll share some easy practices that help you have more happiness, fulfillment, and success right away. All you have to do is be fully present and tune in. See, it's easy already. Here we go with segment number 5, Weigh Anchor. Weighing anchor is a naval activity that means pulling up the anchor as the ship's getting ready to depart. But as a spiritual practice, it's about checking in on what has you anchored where you are in the first place. If you're in a spot, why are you there? And is that spot serving you? Sometimes you may not be conscious that you've actually anchored yourself someplace. Other times, you know that you're there, but for some reason, like maybe fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of letting go, you're not moving on. You're just making yourself stay there. And then there are other times when it's just not even possible to figure out where is it I'm going to sail to. So if I pull my anchor up, what? I don't know. The ability to weigh anchor is directly related to your self-awareness. It's about your backstory, like what's underneath the surface of this choice that you've made, and what's underneath the reasons why you're not moving on. So how well you know yourself and know the kinds of things underneath your beliefs, your values, the way you make decisions about your rules of engagement, how well you know that is directly related to how well you pull up anchor and set sail for a new port. So let's welcome our guest today, Michael Graff, and let's delve into his story about kind of being anchored someplace and trying to figure out where to go next. Hey there.
Hello.
Hi Mike, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. I'm so glad you're here, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. So let's talk.
Let's talk.
So what about a time when you kind of were stuck? Weren't moving, wasn't good, but you were stuck anyway.
I've had a few, but the one that comes to mind is there was a time in high school where I was rolling with people who I really thought were like close friends, and so now looking back on it, I realized that it wasn't the best crowd for me to be in, and but at the time I couldn't see it.
I'm really grateful that you're bringing up this topic because peer groups and the people we hang with can often have a big, powerful impression on us, and sometimes we get and we don't know how to come back out. So when did you discover, you just said that when you look back on it now, did you discover then, were there times when you were in it where you going, what am I doing here, but not listening to that voice?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that is so universal an experience.
Yeah, we'd be hanging out, and I would notice things that would potentially put me in a bad spot, like things that I no longer wanted to be in. So I'd be hanging out with them, and I'd realize, like, what am I doing here? Like, it no longer serves me a good purpose. And so slowly I began to distance myself from them, not because I loved them to death, but for the better of my own self, I had to cut them out of my life.
So, you know, you just made me think of one of my favorite movies, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, and there's a line, we're in a tight spot, we're in a tight spot. So when you would get in those tight spots, what stopped you from saying, I'm out? What is underneath the surface? What was going on with Mike then that would allow him to kind of ignore that inner voice? And what did you believe was true about you or not true about you that made you like anchor yourself and hanging on to these relationships so tightly that it was at your own peril, so to speak?
First thing that comes to mind, I was kind of a rebel.
Okay,
like
that'll do it.
Yeah, stick it to the man. Kind of going against the grain with things, and not that it guided every choice I made, but there were times where I was like, why not? Like, it appeared to be fun at the time, and you weren't really thinking of the consequences. But so it's like for the thrill of it, but then as I began to acknowledge more that it's no longer something that serves me, like I would listen to the voice more often than the rebel saying, stick it to the man. Yeah.
Which voice is that?
My conscience.
Thank you so much. It's awesome for you to be here and to be so authentic and candid. It's hard to talk about our mistakes as much as we want to talk about our victories. And the mistakes, we can get a lot from them. They're gifts.
Yeah, they're blessings in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
I believe an important tidbit here is that everything is changing at all times. You, the people you're with, the situations you're in, are constantly changing. And to reach your full potential, you not only need to have self-awareness and understand your backstory and your beliefs and values and why you're doing what you're doing, but you really need to build adeptness at responding to change. And when you do, when change shows up, it gives you an opportunity to weigh anchor if you'll embrace it. Don't fight it. If you'll say, oh, change is showing up. What's my opportunity here? And if you will weigh anchor, you give yourself an opportunity to sail off into a whole new direction, maybe 10 times better than what you're experiencing now. Your existence is spiritual, and in truth it always has been. You're not just a human. You are an integrated spiritual human person. It takes conscious choices, commitment, and courage to be happy and whole and fully connected to the truth of who you are, the magnificent essence of you. But you're worth it. When you nurture your connection to the spiritual aspect of yourself, your center, your magnificent essence, that's how you have more of what you want. More ease, more peace, more grace, more fulfillment, more fun, and yes, more happiness. You can do it. And I'd love to know how it's going. So feel free to drop me a line and come out and play with us. If you're in California, come to the Happy and Whole Connection. Blessings.